Back. This is New Day. My name is Stanley Bentu, and we've been talking about a lot of the political events that have been happening. It's only 48 hours to the 2019 presidential and National Assembly elections. And, well, critical things, quite a number of challenges that we've been talking about, including the benchmark warrant that has been issued by the Code of Conduct Tribunal on former Chief Justice of Nigeria, or suspended Chief Justice, I should say, of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Walter Onnoghen. And there's been some kickback as a coalition of political parties have said that no, well, probably this is the current administration overstretching or overreaching itself. Well, whether that is the case or not, the next few days will tell. The NJC has set up a panel, a 5-man panel, to investigate and to get to the bottom of certain allegations that have been made within petitions, one against the acting Chief Justice and another against the suspended Chief Justice. Interesting time, the times that we live in. Well, being that we will be going to the polls to select our next leaders at the National Assembly, right now we've just been joined by one of the candidates. He is running for the House of Representatives for Omagbitse Council, and his name is Omagbitse Barrow. He represents the ANRP. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Great to be here.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
So I will just cut to the chase and start right away. Why do you feel that you are the best candidate for this job?
Well, essentially, I'll be bringing in 2 decades of my experience working in the private sector as an investment banker, as an accountant, as an educator, a business person, an entrepreneur. And particularly, I'll be pushing for a lot of innovation in the way governance is done, especially at the grassroots level. One of the things I have done is to set out a clear agenda and manifesto, which comprises essentially of 3 things. That we are going to take legislative governance to the grassroots of Omagbitse. We are going to establish for the first time in Nigeria's political history the office of the Legislative Ombudsman. An ombudsman is that person who sits between the people and the government and ensures that their rights are protected. So imagine that in every ward in Omagbitse, 22 wards, you would have the office of the ombudsman. People can go there where their rights are being trampled upon. They can get some form of restitution, and where the people there who work for me are unable to resolve the issues will be delegated up to me, and I would pursue the issues at my own level as the member of the House of Reps. The second thing we plan to do is to establish in all the 22 wards what we call the Office of Public Accountability. At the village and ward level, people need to know, for example, what is in the budget of the FCT for them. In every ward, in Shere, in Igu, in Kawo, in Garki, in every ward. And so the first thing we'll do is to publish this information to the people to empower them. And then we will start to follow the money. We'll start to ask questions. Where is the refurbished school? Where is the renovated hospital? Where is the road that is meant to be built? We will follow the money. We will pursue the Wuru leaders until the people get what it is that they deserve. And thirdly, the Office of Economic Development. You know, we talk about elections and we talk about the president and the governors, and here's what we forget, that at the grassroots level, we need to have an economic blueprint. What is the economic blueprint for your village? This is what I would like to do, to go into every ward and village and every township in Omagbitse, work with the people to identify what their area of competitive or comparative economic advantage is, whether they are farmers or they are artisans, work with them on skills acquisition and skills development, and very importantly, facilitate enterprise. What do I mean by this? Attract investors, not from abroad, There are investors locally. There are people in Maitama and in Asokoro who have the resources to invest in smaller communities like Shere and Igu and Kau. Let's facilitate enterprise. Let's build the capacity of people. You know why? So that every 4 years, people stop saying, Honorable, what are you bringing? So people stop depending on handouts from rich people, from politicians, and people are empowered. Their pockets are full. They have the capacity to thrive in our society. This is essentially my agenda and why I believe that I am the frontline candidate for House of Reps, and people should go out and vote for me on Saturday.
Now, the FCT is very peculiar in the sense that, unlike the other 36 states that have their own exclusive houses of assembly,
Exactly.
it's the National Assembly that legislates for the FCT.
Yes.
Do you think that the National Assembly has actually given enough attention, considering that they're burdened with a lot of national issues, and what will you do to change that?
Clearly not, and the problem is not really about, it would be good if we can get even more representation in the FCT, whether we create our own legislative council at a local level. But the truth is, it's about the quality of the leaders, the quality of the people who have represented the FCT in the past. What's their agenda? And biggest issue of all, how have they gone into the National Assembly? Because here is what we find. In politics in Nigeria, you become a politician, you have a godfather. Godfather supplies money bags. You get into the House of Reps or the Senate and your hands are tied. Your mouth is covered. You can't talk because you are there representing the agenda not of the people, but of the people, the few minority that sponsored you into political office. I think that has been the bane of our governance in Nigeria. And today, Omagbitse Barrow stands as somebody without a godfather. God is my father. Without money bags, my campaign was 100% crowd funded. Meaning that when I get into the National Assembly, everything that I have promised, everything that the people want, everything that the people need is what I will fight for without any inhibitions. So that's the difference that I think I will make in the National Assembly for the people of Amak and Boad.
Okay, I believe let's get practical.
Yeah.
PTV has had reports of some communities in the Amak Boari Council, area council, who the roads are not motorable, and some of them do not even have adequate communication. So now when it comes to elections, if there's a crisis or there's some sort of problem, they might not be able to reach out as fast as other communities would be able to. So what's your plan for such communities during the election, and if you do get voted?
Well, let's backtrack a bit. So why is it that such communities exist at that level of deprivation in the first place? It is because the leaders have failed to do what they are meant to do. I have been to those communities. So beyond your report, let me tell you what happens on the ground. In these very rural, far-flung communities, you know what people do? Just 3 weeks to the election, you will see tractors going there to pretend like they want to construct roads. You will see them putting up electricity poles as if they were about to supply them electricity. And then once the election is over, in 1 week's time, they're going to pull out all those things. This is how they have been deceiving and manipulating the people. But to your particular question, during the elections, for example, we have polling unit agents in all of the wards, including some of those places you are describing, perhaps in places like Igu and Kawu and Shere, which are the most remote wards in Abuja. We have people there. They have been equipped with phones. They will make their calls. They will send out messages in case anything is going on and report to us blow by blow what is going on during the elections. When elected into the House of Representatives with your votes and support on Saturday and in the weeks and months that will follow, my primary agenda, and I want to describe it with our 5 fingers, is that while all 5 fingers are not equal, they are all well fed. My point is this: why does someone decide that as a priority, Maitama should have light, water and amenities, whereas Shere, Igu, Kawu do not have these amenities? In fact, interestingly, many people don't know this, that Shere, for example, ranks pari passu with Wuse as a ward. Maitama is not a ward. Asokoro is not a ward. Apo is not a ward. But they have better facilities than these people. Why? It goes back to what I said earlier. It's about the quality of leaders that have been representing the people at the FCT. The fact that they have been hamstrung by their godfathers and money bags who have invested in their campaigns, and also that they truly do not have the capacity and innovation to push good governance the way that I am going to do it, and the way that our good people of the FCT deserve.
Very quickly, I would like to ask about the extreme inequalities that we witness in the FCT. As you mentioned, in Maitama, you see areas that are stupendously rich,
Exactly.
and you have lots of rural communities, some of them in which even harmful traditional practices still exist.
Exactly.
How do you plan to tackle that?
Infanticide and so on and so forth. Yeah, it goes back to engaging with people. You see, the problem with our society, let's all be honest, and all our viewers, is that we've never really had in the recent time political leaders who are really in touch with the reality of our people. You know, so that's where these issues that you are bringing up, the problem is that the political leaders get there and they are more interested in lining their pockets. Let the truth be told. That is the reason why.
So what makes you different?
What makes you different?
It's back to what I've said. It's the process. So how did Omagbitse Barrow become a politician? He became a politician without one of the big establishment parties. Because he chose a political party, ANRP, that truly aligns with the values and ideologies that he believes in. He has gone around campaigning without the influence of godfathers and money bags. He has not abused the use of money in politics by sharing cheap inducements to people. You know what I mean? The process by which somebody goes through something can give us a pointer of the type of person he will be. So for me, that is very important, and I have taken very deliberately this process. There are many things that have happened in this journey. People coming to me say, let's do this, let's do that illegal or illicit thing so that we can help you win the election. And I say, absolutely not. Because I want to be free from the contagion of the mess that has been politics in Nigeria, so that I can show that and demonstrate that I will do things in a different way. But you know the honest truth, nobody is fallible. I'm not a perfect person. So I always tell people when they ask me this question, this is the process I have gone through. This process, by God's grace, will guarantee our people better governance and better leadership. But please, pray for me. Pray with me. Not just for myself, but that in this election cycle, we will get better leaders. Do a bit beyond praying. If you have found something that is good, what do? You sell everything you have and you pursue it. So I encourage people, if you think Omagbitse Barrow sitting before you, you are listening to him right now, is the quality of candidate you want, then give up everything you can. If you have to rent, stay in a hotel because your polling unit is far away, go and do so and ensure. Tell everybody in your entire household or your streets that it looks like we have found the diamond in the soil. If he is the jewel we have been looking for, let's support him. Not only with our votes, not only with our prayers, but with our entire networks. And we all need to work together. And that's the approach that I have always taken. I challenge people all the time. Google me, find out more about me. I know that people say, oh, our party is small, we are not known. But you know me now, and it is not too late. We are not yet at the election, we are not yet at the polling booth.
Which is a question I was meaning to ask you.
Yes.
Your party is comparatively smaller
Yes.
with the larger parties,
Yes.
to PDP and the APC.
Yes.
So how do you intend to take on these giant parties?
Here's what I will say to you very quickly. I have taken them on already. For example, none of those parties that you have mentioned, I never like to use their names, has run a campaign even up to 1/10 of the campaign that I have run. And the people of Abuja will testify to this. We have been on the streets, we have been in every single community, every single ward, interacting with people face to face, not by proxy. I have been there with everybody on the streets, sharing out handouts, bills, talking to people, canvassing one-on-one. I have not seen the candidates of these parties do even 1/10 of what I have done. So the truth is that we have given them a run for whatever their money and their resources are. The people of Abuja know this, and it is time for us to go and start to change the narrative in politics by the time we vote Omagbitse and ANRP on Saturday.
A quick question I always ask when you talk about political parties. What are the ideologies in your front burner? I think Nigerians would want to know.
So essentially, ANRP is founded on three primary things. First, the fundamental respect for the Nigerian people. That everything we are going to do is going to be to ensure that we convey that every human life is valuable, and we will restore the dignity to the humanity of every Nigerian. The other very important thing is the concept of renaissance. That everything we are going to do is to use our innovation and enterprise to create the Nigerian renaissance. That Nigeria used to be a great country, and we are going to restore that greatness through our efforts and through our energy. And thirdly, renewal. That we must also pay attention to the hearts and minds of Nigerians. That if you say you want to restructure Nigeria, people talk a lot about things like that. That if you don't transform the hearts and minds of people through education, through civil engagement, that nothing will really change. So for us at ANRP, those are three cardinal things: renewal, renaissance, and respect. And even if you take the words ANRP, the Abundant Nigeria Renewal Party, the word abundant is very important. That there is an abundance of resources in our country that has been mismanaged, that has been corruptly filtered away to the pockets of a rogue political class. Our job is to restore that abundance. And when I said all five fingers are not equal, but each of them is well fed, that is at the core of our philosophy and ideology. Also, part of it is zero tolerance to godfathers, zero tolerance to money bags. That's why I joined ANRP. And for me, that is the difference, and that's the difference we are offering to Nigerians.
Thank you very much, Omagbitse Barrow of the ANRP, running for House of Representatives for Omagbitse Council. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you very much. It's been great being here, and thank you for the opportunity.
We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about the African Charter on elections, democracy, and governance. And we'll be speaking with Jai Gaskia, and we'll find out exactly how far we've gone, especially in the build-up to the 2019 election. Don't go away.
Oh, don't gawk yourself. Sell your vote, you don't sell your future, but sell your birthright. How much self? Divide them by 4 years. How much is that? No sell your vote. Oh. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter how the thing they do you. No matter how much money them they give you. No sell your vote. Oh. No need to fight. Oh. Because your picking no go join you. They won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, don't sell your photo. Yeah. Okay. If you look at the situation, everything harsh for this our nation. Poverty rising and inflation. Line still day for the fuel station. Things gotta change, my determination. This election, no intimidation. Protect us election, we gotta make sure everybody votes count for the future. For the future.
Shine your eye, well. Don't let anybody deceive you. Don't let them take your vote from you. Now your future be that. Yeah. Now your future be that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Together we can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah. One voice. We can make Nigeria better. Oh, yeah.
No sell your vote, oh. No sell your vote. No matter the thing them they tell you. No matter how the thing they do you, no matter how much money them they give you, no sell your vote.
Okay, banya kairu, I beg you photo. Time don't come again, no. Them done they show their face, so no sell your right, oh. Now follow them fight, oh. Yeah. It's over to you, so no fear, speak up, you yo. So ginger, don't let anybody spoil them for you. The power is in you, no sell ammo for money, no sell your boat, your right, your hoe for fufu.
Umaiza baku sai ya kare duk wani tanadin ku sun shashare hankalin ku kar ya bace gaba tafi bayewa taimaki kanka taimaki kanki ni rayuwa da inganci.
No need to fight, oh. Because you're picking no good joy, yo. They won't corner, they laugh you. Oh, don't sell your vote for your bad. Hey.
Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, no make mistake today, we go spoil your tomorrow. Mommy, daddy, CC, baby, the time don't come again to go, so make we match go. We go both, we go come to work together. We go both, we go decide our future.
Oh, no matter where you come from, we're part of a great nation now. So everyone sing with me, yeah. From the hilltops of Obudu and Enugu, from the plateaus of Jos and Taraba, from the food baskets of Cocoa and Otubo, yeah, to the smiling, shining sun in Sokoto, we go photo. From Ondo to Jeba, we go photo. From Port Harcourt to Kaduna, yeah, till no one is left behind. Nigeria is yours and mine. Oh, 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 yeah.
Ngema, alonyanga for together. Ngema, alogweja with each other. Oh, let my baby. Votes are only with your PVC, man. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Welcome to Urban Kitchen. I'm Chef Mateta, and what I do is bring in amazing chefs from all over Nigeria to teach us how to make beautiful meals at a very affordable budget. Do you have a dish in mind that you're thinking about making for us?
Oha soup, chicken escalope, and pasta salad.
How much would you regularly need to prepare this for two?
5,000? 4,000 naira.
I don't understand. Are you cooking for a village? We're going to give you 800 naira, and I want you to still create that meal for two.
No. That means you don't want banga for the soup.
How much pepper? 500, 500, that's what I have.
So how much last? What these chefs don't know is that some of their favorite celebrities are going to actually come in and judge the meals that they make.
Big hug. Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too.
Vegetable 200?
Yep.
I
waka well, they say to crazy easy, now the trekking they have.
Not every time we eat rice. We go grow for our head very soon.
Go learn from women how to cook.
There will be surprises.
You say, where the mama is available?
There will be drama. Action.
I will show you how to cook.
And laughter.
Powder is real, and you guys go. Because of the way that you talk now, I know what's my crayfish. Yes. This thing is jollof tapioca.
When boys take over the kitchen.
You too, you are in water.
Ladies, be warned.